Welcome to the MLA 8th Edition Basics Workshop. MLA 8th Edition was released in April 2016. MLA is an acronym for Modern Language Association. MLA style provides one of several standardized ways to present information. It is commonly used by English and humanities disciplines. It is best to use the most current edition unless your instructor indicates otherwise. In this workshop, you are challenged to be able to list the common tasks related to formatting using MLA style, identify the basic components of a bibliographic citation, list the information for in-text citations, and identify resources for assistance. Why do we need to learn MLA style in citing? MLA style provides one standardized way to present information. It gives credit to the work others have completed, provides your readers with a roadmap to your information sources, increases your credibility, helps you avoid plagiarism, and results in a higher grade for you. You will need to provide citations for ideas that are not your own, such as for direct quotations, paraphrasing of a quotation, passage, or idea, summary of another's idea or research, specific reference to a fact, figure, or phrase. You do not need to cite common knowledge. For example, George Washington was the first president of the United States. When in doubt, cite your source. It is better to oversight than undercite in your project. The 3 tasks you need to do when creating a project using MLA style includes creating in-text citations. In-text citations allows a reader to identify the evidence or sources you use while reading your document. Including a works cited page of all the sources you used provides additional information about your sources that are not included in the in-text citations. You will also need to format your document according to the style. General formatting rules indicate such things as margins, font, spacing, headings, and works cited page formatting rules. There is a formatting checklist available to you in the Academic Support Services Canvas environment and on the library's website. We also have additional recordings which cover how to do the formatting using Word and Google Docs. Now that we've introduced you to document formatting, we are going to talk about the citations on your works cited page. The bibliographic citations are composed of what MLA calls core elements. These core elements answer basic questions about your sources: who, what, when, and where. The core elements numbered 3 through 9 may be repeated if your source was found in another source called a container. An example of a container is an encyclopedia, anthology, library databases, or websites with collections of sources like a newspaper. A citation for a book has the least amount of elements, which makes it a good starting point. You see a formula and an application of the formula on this slide and most other slides. There are 4 components needed to create a citation for a book: author, title, publisher, and date published. You will also want to take a look at the formatting for the citation. The author's name is presented last name, comma, space, first name, and a period follows most elements. The title of the book is italicized. This is the container title, and container titles are italicized. Capitalization rules indicate that you capitalize most words with the exception of articles, prepositions, coordinating conjunctions, and 2 infinitives, unless they are the first word of a title or subtitle. Articles are words such as a, an, the, or as. Prepositions are words like against, as, between, in, of, or to. Coordinating conjunctions are words like and, but, for, nor, or, so, or yet. There is a comma in between the publisher name and the publication date instead of a period. Also notice the first line hangs over the subsequent lines. This is called a hanging indent. We do have videos available on the MLA formatting Canvas page to help you do this. Some sources may have multiple authors. This slide shows how to handle multiple authors regardless of the type of source it is. For 2 authors, you list them both. but the second author is listed first name, last name. For 3 or more authors, list the first author, comma, et al. Et al. Is Latin for and others. There is a period after the AL because it is an abbreviation. Articles from journals, magazines, and newspapers require additional information compared with a book. The author is listed first, regardless of the type of source. Now we have 2 titles we need to indicate: the content title and the container title or publication title. Like the title of a book, the publication title is italicized, since that is what you would see if you were looking at the physical cover of this journal. You will also need to add a volume and issue number and indicate the page number the article can be found on. Not all publications use both volume and issue numbers, so if it only uses one or the other, you do not need to worry about the missing component. Notice that you use 1P for indicating the article is 1 page long and 2 Ps indicating it is a multi-page article. Articles from library databases have 3 types of titles: the content title and 2 container titles. The second container is listed after the first. It is recommended to add the URL, but it is not required. Look for link, stable URL, or permalink in the library database instead of copying the URL you see in your browser. How to cite a website may vary depending on the type of source and what you are citing. We have 2 examples here. The first example is a citation for a whole website. You probably won't do this very often unless you are referring to a website as a whole. The second example is citing a specific article contained on the website. Notice that it includes the month and date that this article was published. It is okay to use a copyright date or the date you access the content if no date is indicated for the content itself. If that is the case, I hope you do think twice about using it, since some topics may have new information available that you will want to know before you decide how you think, feel, or will do about the topic. Occasionally, you will have a source that doesn't fit the examples we have shared here or on our handouts. When that happens, your options are to find an example that most closely matches what you want to cite, consult the MLA style manual, or see if you can find another website that has the example of the type of source you need to cite. Now that we've introduced you to document formatting and works cited page citations, let's move on to in-text citations. In-text citations highlight the evidence you are using to support your ideas, which makes your work more credible. It also ensures that you are not taking credit for the work others have done before you. There are only 2 components you need for in-text citations: author and page numbers. What you use in parentheses or as part of your sentence corresponds with the first thing you see on the works cited page entry for that item, which is the author's last name. If your source has no page numbers or other kind of numbering, then there is no need to add it. This slide includes examples from the OWL Purdue's website. It shows 3 variations. The first includes a quote with the author as part of the sentence. The second is a quote with all the citation information in parentheses. And the third is an example of a paraphrase with the author's name as part of the sentence. All examples have the author's name and page number, the 2 required elements for in-text citations. This example shows you what to do with 2 authors. With 2 authors, you will list both of their names with the word "and" spelled out in between them. With 3 or more authors, you can take a shortcut by only listing the first author's last name and et al. Et al is a Latin term that means "and others." A period after the AL is required because there are neutral, masculine, and feminine uses, so the period indicates that it is an abbreviation. This slide shows how to handle an in-text citation for a source with no author. If you use a source with no author, you should find another way to ensure it is written by an author with expertise and experience on the topic being discussed. Once you ensure it is a high-quality source, your in-text citation would include the first word of the title. This allows the reader to quickly find the full title on your Works Cited page since it would be in alphabetical order. You would ignore the for alphabetizing and the in-text citation. Page numbers are only required when consistent and numbered by the publisher. Therefore, if there are no page numbers, there is no need to create them for your in-text citations. My page 3 will be different than your page 3 depending on screen size, printer settings, and other settings. So this is why it is not required for you to create page numbers when it is not supplied by the publisher. Now that we've introduced you to document formatting, Works Cited page citations, and in-text citations, we will end with resources to help you create an MLA style project. If you use high-quality resources to find your sources, such as the WCC Library's databases, they create the citation for you. All you need to do is copy and paste it into your Works Cited page. Pasting it into your document is much easier than typing it yourself or going to another resource to create the citation. Our library catalog, also called OneSearch, can also generate citations for physical items in the library or digital resources either found in our databases or through open access web repositories. For items that you didn't find in the library's catalog and various databases, you can find citation generators online. Some have heavy ads and are automated to pull the components from the web, and some you have to manually enter the components. But both can help you create MLA formatted citations. Be sure to verify which edition of MLA it uses and edit your citation if needed. There are numerous websites that provide helpful reminders and explanations and examples of MLA style. The Online Writing Center at Purdue University, called the OWL, has really good explanations and examples. Word processing software has features that can help you. You can also find templates that do much of the formatting checklist for you and provide citation examples. You can find videos on YouTube that can help you, such as how to create hanging indents on your Works Cited page. There are also browser extensions that you may find helpful, such as MyBib. We will link to some of these resources in the Canvas page for this workshop. You can also get assistance from a human, such as a librarian, to help you with MLA style. You can make an appointment that suits your schedule through our online booking system. Quick questions that require limited conversation can be asked using the Ask a Librarian form. MLA assistance can also be found at the Student Success Center. Your instructor is also a great resource, especially for formatting preferences that may or may not align with the current MLA style guidelines. We covered document formatting, Works Cited page citations, in-text citations, and resources to support your creation of an MLA style project. To conclude this workshop, now is a good time to reflect on what you were challenged to learn from watching this workshop. You were challenged with learning the common tasks related to formatting using MLA style, identifying basic components of a bibliographic citation, listing the information needed for in-text citations, and identifying resources for assistance. If you missed something, you may need to review. Although MLA style has a lot of rules and details, do not feel like you have to memorize all of them. With an understanding of the basics and resources you can use, you will be able to apply the rules to your projects. The library has a copy of the Modern Language Association's 8th edition style guide if anything comes up that we can't find an answer to in other sources. We hope you find this workshop on MLA 8th edition helpful. Please take the survey embedded on the Canvas page to help us improve our future presentations and library experiences for students. We want to know what you think. The WCC Library is here to help you, regardless of your location or world events. See you later!